Living in a hotel full-time? Why some retirees are choosing this in 2026. Would you ever consider living in a hotel instead of renting an apartment or owning a home? I know, sounds strange, doesn't it? But I started noticing more people talking about hotel living as a real housing option, especially on YouTube and in other places too. And I decided to investigate it for myself. I guess that's kind of when I used to have the newspaper, I like to kind of research things. And not only for myself, but I thought it might be interesting to others too. So, but like I said, I started noticing more people talking about it. And as a real housing option, I decided to make a video on it, because if I ever sold my home one day, I've also wondered, where would I stay while it's being shown? That could take months, or it could take however long. And then while I wait for closing, that could be another month. And then while I decide what I'm gonna do next. So, because I was gonna do that a couple times the last few years. And I'm like, where am I gonna stay? I mean, I could take my RV and stay in an RV park, but most of them were full, so I couldn't do that. And actually there was a hotel that I've stayed at before over in the next small town, and it's pretty nice, and they know me. I've been there before, and they'll give me like a little corner, one of the corner lower floors, because I have 2 dogs, and I can always stay there as long as I want. But I never thought about long term. But anyway, but anyway, after, it'd take a while if I sold my home, and where would I stay? So I just started calling hotels, like I said, and even about this video, I started calling other hotels, like in the larger town I live in, and we're gonna get into that. So before we get into numbers, let's be honest about why people are even thinking this way. We're living in an economy where rents have risen, basically everywhere, or at least in many areas. Property taxes and insurance have increased, and of course we all know that the groceries and utilities are more than they used to be. And when people feel squeezed, especially retirees on fixed incomes, or younger people are trying to launch or save money, whatever, people start looking at our alternatives. Some explore RV living, some do house sharing, some explore tiny homes, and some are seriously looking at extended stay hotels. So here's what surprised me. I called one of the national extended stay type hotels near me, in the larger town near me, and asked, do you rent long term, like year to year, and or 5 years, whatever? And they said, yeah, they do. I was really surprised. They even said it can be set up in a way where you go year to year, and you can still pay weekly. You could probably pay monthly if you wanted to. But there's the rate they quoted me for one person. I didn't ask about, like 4 people. So that would be something you'd have to do yourself. But I was just looking for myself. And of course I asked about my 2 dogs, but they said for one person, it started at $44 a night plus tax. Now that number varies by location, and then the tax matters, and we'll get into that. But here's what made me stop and think. It could average at around $10,000 per year, especially there. That's what they said. It'd be around $10,000 a year. And now that's without my dogs. Now, and with my dogs, they said $15 per night. After the first week, and it's $15 a night per dog, which, golly, I guess that'd be, if you figure 30 days, like $300 per dog, but that'd be another, $600 a month. But that'd still be at even the $1,000 I'd have to pay for the year. I didn't calculate what that is monthly, but it's less than $1,000 a month, plus my dogs. Probably be close to $1,500 a month if I get my dogs. Okay, but it varies by location, and then the tax matters. But What's included was a kitchenette with a full-size refrigerator, full-size stove, and the utilities, and on-site security and laundry. And but then I'll tell you what I did. I love to go to Branson, Missouri, and I called there, and I called one of their long-term stays, and I love going to Branson because I used to be in the music industry, and a lot of my friends still live and work there. Of course, they're getting older too, but yeah, some are still singing there. And but when I called Branson, the long-term price quote I got there for one person and 2 dogs was about $1,200 a month. And they said, yes, people can live here as long as you want to. Like, wow, couldn't believe it. So then they even had, that particular place had a saltwater pool, hiking trails, and those ground floor rooms. Those are kind of like where you can just walk right out to your car. You don't have to go inside and go up an elevator to the upper floor, especially if you have animals. Or being retired like me with some health problems. I just like going straight out the door to the car. Or you can even peek out the window to your car at times. But now compare that to renting an apartment. Renting usually involves first month's rent, security deposit, sometimes last month's rent, application fees, background checks and income requirements, sometimes higher deposits if your credit isn't strong, and then utilities on top of rent, electric, water, internet, maybe trash, depending on the lease. So even mowing, I have mower if you're renting a home, or well, maybe apartments. They may do the mowing, they may not, you don't know. So even if rent is $1,200 a month, and that's pretty cheap, especially where I live. You really can't find anything for that. But that's $14,400 per year before utilities. And a lot of people, it's not $1,200 anymore. It's $1,500, $1,800, $2,000, maybe $2,500. And that's why people start asking what else exists. So what hotels can offer, and I'm talking specifically about the extended stay type places, is a bundled life, basically. Often it's the utilities are included, internet included, furnished room, housekeeping at some schedule, maybe weekly, security and staff presence, sometimes breakfast. They offer free breakfast, a lot of them do. Sometimes a swimming pool, a gym, laundry facilities, and you're not dealing with the repairs, the roof leaks, the lawn care, the plumbing disasters. And for older adults especially, there's also psychological value in that. It's fewer moving parts, fewer surprises. And I want to be fair. This is not perfect, and it's not always cheaper. Hotels in major cities or tourist-heavy areas, except Branson, like I called, I was so surprised, can be much more expensive than rent. And even in smaller cities, the price depends on what kind of hotel, whether there's an extended stay discount, how long you commit, local tax rules, pet policies, and availability. So this is not a one answer fits everyone solution, but it's an option some people are exploring and doing right now. I was really surprised. Excuse me. Here's another thing I learned while researching this. Some places have rules about how long you can stay continuously. In some states or properties, after a certain number of days, sometimes around 28 to 30, the stay can start triggering different legal or tax considerations. That can include things like whether local lodging taxes apply or don't apply, whether a hotel tries to avoid someone establishing residency, or whether they require you to switch rooms or check out and check back in. And I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just saying, just ask. And now I do know even with RVs, like we'd go stay out the lake with the RV, and we'd want to stay maybe a month or two. And they had a rule where you had to move just to a different spot every 2 weeks. So that was kind of a hassle, but hey, we didn't mind, we did it. That was their rules. So You just have to ask and find out what the rules are. So if someone is considering this for a month or longer, you need to ask the front desk or the manager, how do you handle long stays? How do taxes work here? And are there any stay limits? And I would just tell you what you're looking for. Are you looking for 6 months? Are you looking for a year? You're looking for 5 years? But that one question can save you money and prevent a lot of surprises. Now, people will ask, why not an RV? Why not a tiny home? These can be great options, but they come with real trade-offs. Well, I told you about the RV, just about the moving every 2 weeks. We're at the lake we were at. But it can include your fuel, your insurance, your maintenance and repairs, your campground or RV park fees, weather issues. If a tornado's coming, a lot of them have tornado shelters at these RV parks. Leveling, hookups, dumping tanks. And I know another thing, getting out walking those dogs in the snow or the rain, that sucks. It did for me, but we did it. But anyway, when we'd go on vacations or just go traveling. Now, tiny homes can include land or lot rent, zoning restrictions, utility hookups, storage limitations, financing challenges. So while RV or tiny living can be cheaper in some cases, it can also be more complicated. Hotels remove a lot of that complexity, but hotels also remove one big thing, equity. So you're not building ownership. So the trade-off is predictable convenience versus building an asset. And there's also something deeper here. And I found this, I think it was on, it's a Fortune, I forget now, website. But housing isn't just math. It affects stress, and stress affects health. There's been reporting and research discussions suggesting that long-term renters often carry more housing uncertainty and stress than homeowners. That doesn't mean renting is wrong. You know, some people have to or choose to, but it does mean stability matters. Where you live and how secure you feel changes how you experience life, especially in retirement. But that study they did was that renters carry a lot of stress over the years. I used to rent, yeah, I did, and years ago, and it carried stress. You know, you got to have that monthly payment every month. So back when I was working, and the one more practical angle: points and rewards. This is great, especially at hotels. Some people who stay in hotels regularly use a travel or rewards credit card and earn points, or sometimes these points translate into discounts, free nights, or perks. So I'm not endorsing any credit card here. I may in the future. I have just about every credit card there is, and yeah, there's some that have, whether it's flying, you know, a lot of people know about this, flying rewards and points, hotels, rental cars, things like that. But I'm not endorsing any card, and nobody should ever carry a balance just for points. I don't think so. But if someone already pays responsibly and pays in full, it can be one more tool to reduce cost over time. So would you do it? And would I do it? So would I personally do this? Probably not as a permanent plan. Only because I already have my own home, but no. But I tell you where I would. And I love having a yard for, you know, unless I have to, of course. But I love having a yard for my dogs. And I pretty much keep this house for my dogs anyway. And if I ever needed home health care one day, I would want more space and privacy. But as a transitional option, absolutely. I can see it. Like I said, I called that one hotel. And then I called Branson. I'd probably go down there if I put my house up for sale, and even if I stayed there 6 months or a year. you know. So, but because when you sell a house, you don't just sell it and instantly move. I mean, well, some people can, I guess, but most people don't. You list it, it's shown, they want you to stay away. If it sells quickly, you still wait for closing. That can easily be 30, 60, 90 days. And what if it sits on the market 6 months or whatever? Then yeah, you gotta stay somewhere. And then, of course, after it could take 30, 60, 90 or more days, then you've got to decide where to live next, you know, unless you've already found a place. Some people already found a place. But for me, I'd really want to decide where do I really want to move next, because I don't want to be moving again if I move out of here. So, and if you buy again, you're waiting for that closing. So for people who don't have family nearby, hotel living can be a bridge, a breathing room option. Or unless you have friends to stay with or family that you can stay with for that long and not get in a big fight or something, which I probably wouldn't mind. And my son does have a tiny home, ADU on concrete out in the country. It's 1 bedroom and yeah. But if I stayed with him, yeah, he's got the 1 bedroom, but then when he's home and awake, he's on the sofa watching his big 80-inch or whatever, big screen TV on the wall. Well, then I'd have to sleep on the sofa, and I wouldn't want to be there no 30, 60, 90 days or 6 months. Oh, no. And, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. So, but I'm not here to convince anyone to live in a hotel, and I'm not here to dismiss it. I just want you to see the full picture, the costs, the trade-offs, the convenience, and the limitations. Because the fact that people are even considering this tells us something about the housing world right now. And if you're thinking about downsizing or housing alternatives, I'll link my tiny house pros and cons video and my buying versus renting video at the end of this video, so you can compare all 3 options. If this gave you something to think about, I would ask you to click the like button. It's free. It helps my channel build. And consider subscribing if you would. And because I have a lot more types of videos coming out. So I really appreciate it if you made it this far. And I'll just see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.